Okay, so what we are going to do today is called as the flying over fantasies. The Indian batch students already know what is flying over fantasies. It's the second version for them. It's 2.0 for them. Like a couple of movies can be taken, and each candidate will speak about particular movie or couple of movies that they have watched that has really brought some turn of events into the mind. Maybe it has impressed them, it has inspired them. Sometimes movies can change lives. Now, in CRS 3.0 of Indian batch and CRS 2.0 of US batch, I have planned to bring all these kinds of exercises for the reason of getting a little bit more of realistic oriented life based skills. Education is not only about reading books and internalizing and knowing things, it is also about how we are taking lives into different paradigm. We go to a particular place, we can learn. We meet a new person, we can learn. We listen to a song, we can learn. We watch a movie, we can learn. So that is why I have always been thinking that even these kinds of thinking, or these kinds of activities, life activities, like playing a sport, for instance, watching a movie, for instance, have to be included. So in CRS 2.0, when these people were in a crucial stage, I gave this particular activity. This is for the information of Taneshwar and Siddharth. I gave them this activity where they made exclusive presentations. Everybody here, like Guru Prasanna, Dakshin Siddharth, Ritan Nitish, Sibi Aditan, everybody here who are present, and the other people have also been doing the presentation. Yeah. Good evening, Dakshin. Dakshin, you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, very much.
Good evening, sir.
So, good evening, good evening. So they were making presentations, like they had a PPT. It is a formal kind of a presentation. Although it is involving with movies, it is a formal kind of a presentation. If you take Dakshin Siddharth, he made a presentation about a movie which really motivated me to watch it. Although I was not very much comfortable with the movie's title, but I had to watch after his, inducing way of presentation, Joker. So, a psychic movie, and then Ritan made a presentation, Guru Prasanna made a presentation, and Sibi, he also made a presentation. So, although we did not have much time for making such a formal presentation in this Flying Over Fantasy 2.0, we can at least talk about it. So, Sunday session, remember, the people who are not present in Sunday session will not be marked absent, but the people who are present in Sunday session will be given the bonus. So that's how it is. So always the Sunday sessions we will be having this kind of an activity. So just sit back, relax, go around, pick 2 or 3 movies, whichever language it is, and speak about it. So we will see everybody speaking here, including myself. So we will see the students first, and then we will go one by one. The format of how you are going to speak is first tell the movie, title of the movie, and the second one is why do you like it so much? Third one is what was the learning out of that movie? Fourth one is my favorite part. What has really made you bring up that kind of that good feeling factor? Why did you get that feel good factor by watching that movie? That's very important. Feel good factor is the most important thought pattern that every culture is insisting upon. When you feel good, whatever thing that you're feeling good about, you will attract that more. When you feel bad, whatever you are thinking, feel bad about, you will attract that more. So feel good factor is a very important point. The entire law of attraction can be summed with these 2 words, feel good, always. Taoism by Lao Tzu says feel good factor. Socrates' Greek philosophy says feel-good factor, speaks about feel-good factor. Mindfulness speaks about feel-good factor. Judaism, Buddhism, Jainism, Stoicism, everything. Every philosophy comes up with the factor that you'll feel good. You have to feel good. So knowingly or unknowingly, cinema, movie, and film watching has got that essence of making us feel good. And your blood pressure is calmed down. Your potassium level and sodium level of your body gets neutralized when you are really on a relaxed mode and watching your favorite movie. All these are proven in the research. So we have to take this as an advantage. This is why I was reading an article written by Deepak Chopra, my favorite author. I really like his book called as Life After Death. I started reading that book after my dad's demise. So he's a very meaningful author living in the US. He's a godfather for many US authors also, our own Indian. So he says, I was reading an article written by Deepak Chopra, what happens in human body when these people are watching movies, when people are listening to good songs, when they are having that wonderful ice cream, when they are really having that wonderful experience of swimming, and, they have a wonderful sun bath, and they have this beach walk. Deepak Chopra says in all these occasions, the subconscious mind is wide open. And when they are wide open, good things happen into the subconscious mind. So there are some areas where your subconscious mind will be wide open. When you take bath, your subconscious mind is open. And whatever you say, it is instilled into your mind. When you're having a favorite food, your subconscious mind is wide open. When you are sleeping, the subconscious mind is wide open. When you're relaxing, subconscious mind is wide open. When you listen to a song which is most favorite to you, it's wide open. And when you're watching a movie, it's wide open. So it is one of the occasions when the subconscious mind is really active. That's what Deepak Chopra says. Not Deepak Chopra only. It is a proven science. So we are just picking up that particular activity. And I would like to know what has really made you feel good and which movie. That speaks your character. If Guru Prasanna comes and says that action movies really make me feel good, so then defends his character. If action comes and says any sport-based movie will really have the wonderful plethora of giving me the substance of feeling good factor, that defends the character. So likewise, when you go along with this structure, we would be really knowing about your character. So point number 1, which movie? Point number 2, why do you like it? Point number 3, what do you like specifically in that movie? Point number 4, what's the feel good factor in it? And point number 5, what do you learn, or what did you learn from it? So this is a pattern. We're going one by one. Any questions?
No, sir.
Yeah, Dakshin.
Sir, but I thought it was like official and I made a small PPT, so is it fine?
You can.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So the attendance is not only you, your mom is also listening to it.
I don't know, sir. Maybe from the next room she's kind of spying. I don't know, sir. Maybe it's true, sir.
Okay, nothing wrong. Fine. All right. So if you have your PPT ready, you can do it. Any other? Yeah, Dakshin, you're raising hand again.
So no, sir. I lowered it.
Right. Okay. So we will start with anybody volunteering. Right. Ritan Nitish. Ritan Nitish, are you willing to start? How many movies are you going to speak about?
Sir, 3 movies, sir.
I have one question. Can I?
Yes, sir.
If this Sunday class had been having some other content, would you have joined?
Sir, yes, sir, because yesterday I took leave, sir, so I have to somehow I want to compensate it, sir. So, yes.
Oh, right.
Sir, how will I miss to go to temple every day, sir?
You
But
did not
this
come
is
yesterday.
sir, yes, sir. Sir, I was feeling really bad because of not going to the temple, sir, and I just can't sleep correctly, sir. So I just have to come to the temple, sir.
So you have to come here just because you need to have a good sleep. ஒழுங்கா தூங்கணுங்கிறதுக்காக வந்திருக்கீங்க நீங்க அப்படிதானே?
Sir, தூங்குறது மட்டும் இல்ல, sir. Sir, if I'm not sleeping, sir, my whole uh, uh, yes, sir. Yes.
All those are only for the normal human beings, so it won't affect you. So you are not normal. So,
Thank you for the
compliment.
thank you for the appreciation. Like you
Right.
told me I am really separated and I'm really unique. Thank you for it.
Right. Okay. Fine. So jokes apart, Ridhanitish is the first person who is going to start his presentation. For a person, we shall give almost about say 10 minutes max. So in that way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people. So 10 minutes. Then it's going to cover up the entire session scenario. Yeah.
Sir, I wasn't able to make a PPT, sir, but I just have I have just wrote the movie, sir. So I will just speak about it, sir.
Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, right. And Daneshwar, all the people who are here in this session, they have got prior information about what it is, including Ridhanitish, although he was absent yesterday. You are the only one who did not get the information. Now you got it. You are on the way.
Yes,
Can you do
sir.
it? This. Right. Okay. Fine. So Ridhanitish, your time starts in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go.
So, sir, my first movie, sir, it is John Carter, sir. So it's actually a English movie, sir, and it's a movie from it's like Earth to Mars journey, sir. And in Mars, we'll be having some superpowers, and we could just jump high and those sort of stuff, sir. And I really like that movie because there was like interesting fact and as we as human and we could do a lot of new things, sir. So I was really interested in that, sir. And like they added few like ships and stuff, sir. And I when there was a clip where they'll be fighting the ship, sir, I noticed few the the movement of the ship, sir. By seeing that I could think of some create a few things, yeah? So I really like that movie because of the creation which they have made and the creativity, sir. So that's my first movie, sir. And the second movie is Tomorrow Was. It's actually a 2021 this year movie, sir. And this movie is the hero was Chris Patch, who like the Guardians of the Galaxy hero, sir. And the movie was going to the future, sir. So you already know, sir. I'm mostly into time traveling, sir, and I really like the movie because of time traveling. And they made the future him and all those like fighting together and the aliens coming and attack and I really like those things, sir. And my last and final movie is Back from the Future, sir. The all three parts, sir. Like they went to the future and past. So the time traveling, sir, I have mostly watched most of the movies of time traveling, sir. So these are my three movies, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good job. So I have some questions. Can I?
Yes, sir.
John Wick. No, John Carter, right? So not John
Yes,
Wick.
sir.
So what was the feel good factor in it? Like when I say feel good factor, you might have felt that feel good factor is a very extreme kind of a element. That is when the end credits come and when you see and when you discover that the movie is over, you feel really bad. So that kind of a feel good factor. What was the feel good factor with John Carter for you?
Sir, do you mean feel good factor? What's the most interesting part, like, sir?
அப்படி இல்லடா இது எப்படி சொல்றது உனக்கு like feel good factor is a moment when you have forgotten all your pain, stress, and your pressure, and you feel happy for no reason, and you feel like $1,000,000 bucks. And the Mari, did it give any happy hope or happy feeling?
Yes, sir. So can you just say the scene, sir?
Sure, sure.
Sir, the scene was actually the last climax, sir. So at that time, John Curtis, I think it's John Carter is the uncle, sir, and he actually there was a scene that he died, sir, and his body was in a place where it's like fully covered with passwords, sir, and only one person knows, sir, and the clue and the way he can go in was by secret passcode, sir, and his son only know the passcode, sir. By finding the password, he went in, sir, but the body wasn't there, sir. So at that time there was a gun pointing at the son and was about to shoot, sir. So John Carter isn't dead, sir, but he was actually alive and he was just faking the death, sir. So he came and rescues the son and he helps and returns to Mars, sir. So at that time, I wasn't concentrating on anything except the movie, sir. So that's the feel good factor of mine, sir, in this movie, sir.
Right, good job. So that was really wonderful, and the scene was really touching. Good. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you, thank you, sir.
Anybody else would like to ask Ratan any questions before we go to the next person?
Sir, may I, sir?
Yeah, sure.
So, Ritan, that was a great presentation. I'll just ask you
Thank you,
out of those three movies, which movie gave you the best feel factor?
No, the second movie, not tomorrow or not, because it was like the latest movie and they added aliens to now. So I really like that. Like they went to the future and they got to know a lot of things and they met the future them and because of that I really like the movie with these three movies now.
Okay, Ritan, thank you.
All right. Okay. So Ratan has finished his presentation. Now let's move on to the next person. The next person is Sibiaditan. Sibiaditan, would you speak about a movie? Ratan, yes.
Sir, I forgot to say one last thing, sir.
What is it?
Thank you so much for me planning to make another Fly Over the Fantasy 2.2, sir. I really like doing it in the last hours. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You're most welcome. Thank you. Sibiaditan, you're speaking?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So we are listening. You can start your presentation about a movie. 3, 2, 1, go. Come on. How many movies are you going to speak about?
Sir, one movie, sir.
Okay, speak about it. You can start.
So, one day there was a man who lives in a village.
Sibiaditan, sir.
Sir?
Good evening, Anna. Good evening, sir. Today,
Okay, sir.
I would like to... Okay, go.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, friends. Today I'm going to say one movie. One day there was a man who lives in a village. He was one day he was dying. And then the police and all the people were get the body of him, and they were showing that in back. Then they say, okay, let's pick that. That pick and put in another body. It was a living body. So it was two divided man. He that chip was vibrating. One person come out and how are you? I'm fine. That like Allah speaking to his friends. Then again chip vibrate. Next man come out. Then he's speaking to her friend. That's like happening. One day he was in hospital. That like chip vibrate. Shankar was come out and he was very rowdy. So he was beating the doctors, police that like go out and asking one lady to take this chip out. She is putting some injections and she was there. Okay, it was not vibrating. Please calm down. Okay, that like 7. They was very happy because it was not vibrating. Then one some villains that like coming. He was very angry because his chip. Oh, this is very vibrating. What can I do? That's like anger. Then the villains come. He was saying, "Don't touch me. I'm not very angry." What you are angry? I'm big anger. You don't know. That's like saying. Uh, she was fighting very much. Oh, that like fighting. Uh, then he was tearing his right hand dress. Then come, that's like saying and go. Yeah, come again, that's like saying and go. Then he was that like saying fell down in the sea and asking, help me, help me, help me. Okay. He was not that swimming. Then he was that the ship was by again vibrating. Again, one person come out. He knows swimming, so he come out of the sea. Again, the ship vibrated. Again, changes Shankar. That like changing. One day there was a lady who was very sad because he loves the he loves his son, so he was very sad because he was died. That body only they take the chip. That like feeling he knows very well piano. He also don't forgot that music that uh, then the Shankar then another person come out and he was turning playing the piano. Then she was finding, oh, it is my boyfriend. That like finding and hey, where you are this much days? Your face was changing. Who you are? That like saying. Again the chip vibrate. The Shankar was calm. Who you are, lady? I'm the very nonsense person. Shut up. That like Colonel saying. She was very afraid and take the pot and beating him. He was blocking in his hand. That's like blocking, and police was come and attacking in his head like Damal. He was that also he's not afraid. Hey, you are hitting. You have any brave things? Come and attack in by heart. That like saying he was attacking in his leg. Then another person come in, that is villain, second villain. That name is Yalnikala Sanmugam. That like name one person come in and fighting with him. Then he was afraid. Oh, he was very terror. That like afraid and go away because he was having a stick and axe because he was angry. He don't know what to do. He was very angry. In anger, any person come in, he will mind kill him. Then that like happened. Okay, don't worry. The ship only problem. Wait for 2 months. 2 months? Why I want to wait? Now sir, take it. Then I will kill you. That like saying. Okay, wait. I will put the injection. It will not disturb you. That like saying. It was not real injection. It is an injection for sleeping. He was putting that and he was very sleep and he was holding his her neck and make her to dying. Then he sleeps. She was very afraid and that like going to America. There was a big man who has very big arms. He was he thinks because he put the tattoo and very afraid face. He also looked afraid. He thinks it is rowdy. It's not real because he is know the place here. He is standing for come person to see that like saying only. She thinks that and run away. Then police are catching and what did you want? That like and are asking. Okay, I'm not. I'm afraid of that person. That person is very good man. Are you afraid? Oh, sorry, I am see his face and afraid. Sorry, that like and all saying. Okay, let's see. That like and all saying and go. How are you, friend? Can you show the place here? That like and all asking. Okay, wait, I will show. That like and all showing places to eat. That like and all seeing. Okay, that and all I don't want. I want one house to stay. Okay, I will show that like showing this this so why you want that like and all asking that like and all asking and seeing one house. This was very beautiful. I want that house. That like 75 minutes. That like and all saying looking her. Then that was Shankar comes there and asking why did you do me like that? That like and I'll ask and was there the axe to kill him. The big man has come and take the rod and bit his uh, uh, head and he was fell down, but he was come and attack the big boy and the Sager come out and okay, don't. I must very take this chip that like and that and he was the Sager. Yes, I am. Oh, I love you, friend. That like and I'll see and take the chip. Then the Hager was there. Thank you.
Sibi, what's the name of the movie?
Sibi?
There is no such movie. He was the screenplay director, dialogue writer, and all in all, and he created his own movie.
Movie when having I saw that on that day, sir, I forgot the name, sir.
Where did you watch the movie? In which channel?
Colors Tamil, sir.
Okay. Right. Anyway, so we enjoyed your movie. Last question before we go to the next person. Like I was asking to Ritin Nitish, what did you like so much in the movie? Sibi Adityan.
I like that he was very kind, no, sir, kind and I like that Sagar, sir, because he was very kind. That like, sir.
Okay. Right. Good job. Very nice. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Well done, Sibi.
Good job, Sibi.
Good job, CB.
Okay. So
Thank you,
who's going to?
Nathan.
Yeah. Ritin Nitish, I wanted to say this. I really like that profile picture of yours. I wanted to say this 2 days back. Only now I had a chance.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Right. Okay. So who is going to be next? Any volunteers?
Sir, I can go
Hey.
next.
All right. Okay. Fine. Siddharth Saranakumar is the next person. So Ritin Nitish had taken 6 minutes, including the questions. Sibi Adityan has taken almost about 12 minutes. Siddharth, your time is 10 minutes. You can go for it. Extension will be given if need arises. All right.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. After Siddharth, Dakshin will follow. Okay. Fine. So your time starts in 3, 2, 1. Go.
Hello, everyone. Today I will be talking about a movie that I liked a lot, that I watched recently. So recently I watched a movie called The Upside. It is the main characters is Kevin Hart and another guy. I forgot his name. Kevin Hart, if you don't know him, he's a very big comedian in America. He makes a lot of good jokes, and yeah, he's like those comedians that do stand-up comedy and things like that. So in the movie it's called The Upside. It's about him being Kevin Hart, the main character, being broke. So he goes to find work. Then he like just wants to get signature, doesn't care about work anymore. He wants to get signatures for the employment thing. Then after he goes to a multi-billion-dollar company's owner because he needs help moving around because below his neck he's fully paralyzed. So he goes there to find work and then they accept him. And then immediately after that his life starts changing because he starts to earn more money than before, like $10,000 per week. So his life starts changing and everything starts looking up. But then in the middle of the story, something happens to the owner, and Kevin Hart is fired because of the things he did. And after some time, the owner himself goes very sad. His whole life is sad, becomes like a sadist. And then after that, after Kevin Hart comes back, the owner looks happy again, and then they continue life as such. In this whole movie, there's not a single bit of action. It's full of comedy and just fun. That is why I like this movie. Uh, yeah, that's why I like this movie. Thank you.
And what is the feel-good factor in this movie, Siddharth? I know
It's-
Kevin Hart is a wonderful comedian. I've been admiring him in specifically Jumanji. So tell me, what was the feel-good factor for you? from this movie?
In this movie, it would be Kevin Hart making his jokes with the boss he has, making jokes. He doesn't care that he's a boss. He treats the boss as though it's his friend. Like, there's not a single bit of actions, like no fighting or blood.
Um, so you don't like this action sequence, fighting, bullying, the ruffling of the bullets and all that?
No, I do like those, but I don't like them in a movie where it's supposed to be funny.
Okay.
Like
All right.
the two genres should not mix. It's better off staying alone and different.
Then tell me one of the action movies that you really liked.
I've watched a lot of action movies, sir. I can't remember some of them. One of them I
Oh,
watched. Could it be like cartoonish too? Action movie?
which one?
Can it be cartoonish? Like has cartoons, graphics,
Oh,
animation.
right. Okay. Fine. So Siddharth has finished his presentation, and the movie that he has watched is a comedy genre, and he says he likes that, and that's a feel-good factor for him. Good. So three people have finished, and the three distinctive stories. Now, Dakshin Siddharth is the next person who is making the presentation. It's raining over here. I will have to fix up the earphone, so I'll be right back. So Dakshin, you set your screen.
Can you see my screen, sir?
Yeah, I'm seeing.
Okay, sir. Right, so may I start, sir?
One second, Dakshin. Just a
Okay.
moment before you start.
Yes, sir.
So guys, I'm on earphone. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, Dakshin, before you start, is this the Sell Me This Pen movie?
I'm sorry, sir. Can you please repeat that?
Is this a movie in which this guy asks somebody to sell a pen? Sell this pen to me. Salesman tactics.
No, sir.
That movie?
No, sir. This is a different one.
Right. Okay, fine. All right, so 10 minutes of Dakshin Siddharth's time starts in, I'm going offline, I mean, in terms of video, so that you can see the full screen. So 3, 2, 1, go.
So, greetings, everybody. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for giving us this activity again. Today, I'm going to be presenting a movie, and I'll tell you the name of the movie later. But before that, let's look at this particular quote. And if you understand this particular quote, which has been said by one of the characters in the movie, then it'll help you to understand the movie better. It says an idea is like a virus, resilient, highly contagious, and even the smallest seed of an idea can grow to define or destroy you. So Cobb is the main character in this movie, and I'll reveal the name of the movie right now. Yeah, so it was released in 2010. It's called Inception, and it's another masterpiece from the director Christopher Nolan. And this is a science fiction movie. Now, when I talk about science fiction, it's not the science fiction which is defined by Indian cinema. So, in recently we had a movie called Tiki Luna or something, and when we discuss about the genre of this movie, the first title which pops up is science fiction, which is absolutely false. These guys just go into the back of a car and they just time travel all of a sudden. And I don't think why this comes under science fiction, but if you think that the science fiction which I'm talking about, is the same science fiction which Indian cinema defines, then you're absolutely wrong. It's not this science fiction which I'm talking about. All right, so jokes off, let's get to the introduction. This movie revolves around the concept of inception, as you might have noticed in the title of the movie. So let's try to understand this word. Inception refers to the concept of implanting an idea into the subconscious of an individual without his or her knowledge. So when you want to implant an idea or something into the mind, or a thought into the mind of a person without him realizing that you have implanted the idea, it's called inception. So you're making the person realize, or you're making the person feel that he has got that idea by himself, but the truth is you have implanted that idea or thought inside his brain. So IMDb has given this movie an 8.8 on 10, and Google users have given this a 91% rating. And this movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio as the main role, as a protagonist, and it's available on Netflix. So if you haven't watched it, I recommend you definitely go and watch this. It's on Netflix, and it's a must-watch for all sci-fi lovers. Now, before getting into the plot, let's discuss about Dom Cobb. He's the protagonist of this movie, and it's played by Leonardo DiCaprio. He's my favorite actor, and I'll tell you why later. He's a family man in this particular movie. He's never afraid to take on challenges. He's filled with personal trauma. He'll do anything for his loved ones. He's very skilled in his domain, and he's intellectual. So I told you right now that I love Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'll tell you the reason why. So horses versus artists. So let me make this clear. This woman which you're seeing in the photo, you might not even know her name, neither do I. But after winning a very trivial or a very like an award of minimal importance, she just starts flaunting about it. And it was about, like, she won a movie for a Tamil serial. It's not even that much recognized, but this guy, he won an Oscar. He never flaunted about it. He never flexed his muscles, and he never broadened his chest and claimed that he's the best. After winning the Oscar, he was just checking out his phone, right? So this is the difference between a horse and an artist. Horses, they always try to compete, but artists, they don't compete. They're a different gravy, they are on a level of their own. So this is why I like this great man. And now I'll tell you a brief overview about this particular movie. Let's start by the summary of this movie. So there's a great businessman or business tycoon called Saito. He's of Japanese descent, and he hires Dom Cobb to do him a favor. Now, who's Dom Cobb? Dom Cobb is a professional thief, quotes, under quotes, and the reason why he's called a thief is because he extracts secrets and ideas from people without their knowledge. So basically, they have a machine called a dream sharing machine. So he gets into the dreams of people and he extracts the secrets and ideas out of them. So Sato assigns Cobb a very daunting task of incepting an idea in the subconscious of Robert Fisher. Robert Fisher is the son of his business competitor, who's called Maurice Fisher. And Maurice Fisher is basically in his deathbed. So he's about to die. So Sato wants Cobb to get into the dreams of Robert and implant an idea which will make him dissolve his father's company so that Sato won't have any competition. So that's the basic outline of this film. So Cobb initially refuses to do this particular job because of his bad past. He actually performed Inception once before. His full-time job is an extractor, like he extracts ideas from other people, but he has done Inception once and that failed miserably, and he has a bad past while doing that. So he initially refuses it, but Saito, he promises to clear all the criminal records and evidences that hinder him from entering the United States. So there's a bit of a backstory here. Actually, Dom Cobb has a wife called Moll. So they basically invent a machine called a dream sharing machine. And the purpose of this particular machine is to share dreams. If you have, if person A has a dream, then using the dream sharing machine, person B can get into the dream of person A and they can live the dream together. So he and his wife, they tried this particular thing out. They tried if it will work or not. And fairly enough, it worked. And interestingly, what happened was his wife initially started believing that the dream is a reality. All right. So then Dom Cobb, he wanted to make his wife realize that it's not a dream. I mean, it's not the real life, it's actually the dream. So what he does is he implants an idea into her subconscious that the world which they're living in right now is a dream. So in order to get to reality, they have to die in the dream. So he convinces his wife to commit suicide so that they can come back to the real world. And they come out of the dream after they both are crushed by a train. But then the problem starts here. He incepted an idea into his wife's mind, right? That idea did not die as soon as the dream completed. The idea lingers on even in the real life. So even in the real life, his wife starts believing that it's not the real life and it's the dream, and they have to die again in order to get to the real life. So this is when things start becoming complicated. Uh, Dom Cobb, he tries convincing his wife and telling her that they have actually come out of the dream, but his wife refuses to believe it. And then as a result of this, there's a lot of problems between them. They get into brawls, and then what happens is his wife, she jumps a, off the top of a building during their anniversary, and Dom Cobb, he requests her not to do so, but in spite of all his requests, she jumps, and she writes in a letter that Dom is the reason for her death. So as a result, there are a lot of charges pressed against him. So he flees America. He comes out of America, and he's unable to meet his children. So Saito promises that if he helps him out, then he'll help him to get back into the United States without any criminal charges against him, so that he'll be able to meet his children again. So, despite having a bad past with this process of inception, Cobb reluctantly agrees, and he promises Sato that he would execute the job for him. Now, we have certain terms here which you must understand in order to understand the concept of the movie. Inception, we already know. Extraction, also I've just explained. Extracting the ideas of someone else. Dream and its layers. So there are two types of dreams in this, according to this movie. A dream with a single layer. So if you die in that particular dream, you'll come back to reality. And the dream with multi layers. That is dream within a dream. So if you're dreaming about, let's say you're in your house and you're sleeping right now, and you get a dream about you staying in a five-star hotel. And in while sleeping in that five-star hotel bed, you get another dream. So it's the second layer of the dream. So if you have three layers of dreams, then it's a multi-layered dream. And a limbo is that if you die in the second layer of a dream, you'll come back to the first layer. And if you die in the first layer of the dream, you come back to reality. But if you die in the third layer, then you go to a state called limbo. And when you get to limbo, you start believing that it's a real world. And as long as you don't die in limbo, you stay in limbo forever. And in this particular movie, this Maul and Dom Cobb, they stay in limbo for around 50 years. And then kick. So kick is basically something which snaps you out of a dream. It could be an explosion, it could be a fall, it could be a music, whatever it is. It basically snaps you out of a dream. So the person who started the dream must also start the kick in order to get out of the dream. And you all know dream sharing machine. This is the machine using which you could share dreams. And totem, this is a particular Beyblade kind of thing. If you rotate it, as long as you're in the dream, it continues rotating. But once it stops after rotating for a while, then it's real life. So you can use the totem to identify whether you're in a dream or not. So these are certain achievements of this film. In the 83rd Academy Awards, it won 4 awards and it got nominated for 8 categories. So you could see the achievements here. And the reason why I like this movie is because I'm basically a huge fan of science fiction movies. And I really love Christopher Nolan. He's my favorite director. And also I love DiCaprio. And the star cast is one of the reasons why I love the movie, and also because of the concept. I never imagined that you could do a lot of things. You can manipulate so much concepts with a simple idea of a dream. So this is another reason why I like the movie. And the feel-good factor is, in the end of the movie, what happens is DiCaprio is finally reunited with his kids. And at that time, he spins the totem, all right, to check if he's in dream or in reality. And Nolan doesn't show you whether the totem stops or the totem continues to rotate. So the viewers themselves can conclude. They can give their own conclusion. They can imagine that it's just a dream, or they can also go on and reckon conclusions stating that it's real world. So the director leaves the conclusion into the hands of the viewers, which I find really impressive. And for the ratings, I used IMDb and Google. So yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Wonderful presentation, very professional. I am so much happy that you have taken this much effort for making the presentation look so vivid and lively. Good job, Dakshin. Very well done.
Very well
Thank you,
done,
sir.
Dakshina. It was really a nice pick now. Very well done.
Thank you. Thanks, Guru.
Right. I was initially thinking that you are making a presentation about the Wolf of the Wall Street, where DiCaprio plays a Wall Street salesman. He asks, in a trivial situation, he asks somebody to sell a pen, and he brings up with a selling strategy, which we were speaking in MBA classes. I was once a judge for Best Manager competition, and I made a reference of this movie, and I tested a person. The cash prize was 8,000 rupees, and I wanted him to sell a pen, and without imitating DiCaprio in that movie, The Wolf of the Wall Street. So that's why, by looking at the face of his, I was wondering if that is a movie. But Inception is a great movie. I would like to give you a story. In 2012, I had a college program called as Inception. I didn't know that there was a movie by name Inception. I never knew this kind of a movie was there. I'm speaking about 2012, yeah. There was a college called as Shakti Engineering College, which invited me as a chief guest. And they said they will give me the space for conducting a personality development workshop. And I came up with a strange idea of just like MS evening sessions. Heterogeneity. I came up with the idea of heterogeneity. Like a college student will be there, +1 student will be there, 10th grade student will be there, businessman will be there, housewife will be there. So likewise, I made a tabloid and I spread it over. Happened 9 years back, so soft skills was not a very big key factor. Not now, too. So people started getting excited about the title. I said Inception. Inception, the dictionary meaning. I was meaning only the dictionary meaning. Okay, so start. Inception is start, having a good start. I had so many people enrolling in the program, and they asked me in the mail. In those days, WhatsApp was not there, only email and SMS. They asked me in the mail, are we going to talk about that? They all mentioned that, are we going to talk about the film? Are we going to talk about it? Are we going to talk about that? Are we going to talk about dreams? Are we going to talk about kicks? Are we going to talk about totem? Or plenty of questions. And I had no clue what they were speaking about. And I said yes for everything. Yes, we're going to speak about it. We're going to speak about it. And Manoj Kumar Nityanandan, one of my former students in Mahalingam Engineering College when I was a full-time professor in the college. He jumped in. He was in Singapore, and he jumped in. He used to call me Captain. Siddharth Vijayan's close friend. Siddharth, Manoj, they are all counterparts. Captain, do you have any idea what they are speaking about? I said, no, they are speaking about my workshop. Manoj came and say, hell not. They are not speaking about your workshop. They are not speaking about anything. They are speaking about the title. Yeah, Youth Corp Training Solutions presents Inception 2012. That's the title. That's it. That's what they're speaking about. Oh, they are so excited about the title. So they are very much excited about my creative idea. Again, you are breaking loose like hell. It's the Inception movie that they are thinking that you're going to speak about. So you better change that title or give them a proper explanation. And I said, what is the movie all about? And Manoj Kumar Nityanandan was the one who told me that there is a movie, it's a sci-fi movie, and DiCaprio is the protagonist, and these people are very excited just because you're going to speak about the movie, and that's why they have enrolled in this. So what you do is you just decline, you just explain to them what it is all about, and then see how the enrollment is going on. And after realizing all this, I told them, I'm really sorry, I'm completely out of the world. These people had paid the subscription, okay, for attending the program, 300 rupees for 2-day program, 150 per day. So all these people had, for them money is not a matter, so they just paid. And I said 100% money back policy for those people who are coming to this program thinking that we are going to speak about Inception. I'm not having anything as an information about that movie. This is purely my title, and I'm going to speak about leadership. And then immediately, almost about 35, 40 people pulled out of the program. then I had to send all the money back to them. Those days, sending money is a big tedious process. We did not have this much amount of tricky, advantageous ways of channel of sending the money back. I had to send money orders. I had to send net bank. Net banking was there, of course. Net banking was there, but it was a very tedious process. So I had a very bad experience with Inception. So today, when you spoke about Inception, all those things came. It took me back 9 years. Yeah, Guru Prasanna.
Yes, sir. Sir, finally, did you watch the Inception movie, sir?
No. A movie that has costed me so much, a movie that has really put me into a lot of trouble. And I had only 35 people, 70 people enrolled for the program, and I had only 50% of the people coming to my program. And those 2 days, I had an earning of about 6,500 rupees. So I had to, I had to buy a suit. I had to buy a boot. All that. I spent so much. I spent almost about 3,500 rupees for my attire alone. And I earned about 6,500 rupees. It was a no profit and no loss. My dad was feeling very sad about it. So, youngsters, so many youngsters. That's the youngsters' mentality. But I think YouTube has got that. My YouTube channel has got the video clip of it, Inception. And there also, I daringly mentioned the name Inception. So I will send the that's okay. I'll send the link to you. So that is why Inception was such a nerve-shaking movie for me. But today, Dakshin, I really enjoyed your presentation, the way you made. There are 3 things that I really liked in your presentation. First thing I liked was the horses versus artists. I still remember, I think it was in the Vijay Awards or something. Saran and Meenakshi ஒரு வேஸ்ட் சீரியல் வரும், அதில் நடிச்சவங்க தான் அந்த பெரிய மனுஷன். So she won an award.
You know the name of those awards, sir. That's
Sir, I want to ask one question to Dakshana, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Dakshana, it was a really nice movie. Now, I have not watched this movie. Now, I'll try to watch this now. Like my question na, like you said about a movie which was recently released. What was the movie na about science fiction which was in Google? You said na?
it's a movie called Dikilona, bro. Actually, it's actually if they call it a comedy film, and if they call it a comedy film, then I'll accept it. Actually, it was really funny, but they call it a science fiction film, which I find a bit irritating. The story is there's a car, okay, an old car, and if they get into the back of the car, there is a huge gallery of scientists who have a time machine sort of thing. And Yogi Babu, that guy, he gets an electric shock and he suddenly transforms into Einstein, and then he gives the formula to complete this machine. And then they go to the past.
I watched this movie na, yes na, like a Sandana movie only no na.
Yeah. It was horrible for science lovers, but it was funny.
Yes. Now my question is that na, like these kinds of movie na, they are saying it as a science fiction na, but Inception was a real science fiction na. Do you think there is some other movie like full of science fiction movie na, really science fiction movie?
Yeah, bro. Actually, if you take a look at all of Nolan's films, they're science fiction. Interstellar, Tenet, all those films are basically sci-fi movies. And there was one Tamil movie which they copied from Interstellar. I think J.M. Ravi acted in it. Tick 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 or something. Yeah, that movie. They actually copied it from Interstellar. And they claimed that it's the first space movie here in India. And actually, sir, actually in that movie, in the climax, what happens is the hero, like the protagonist, he's in space, sir. He's out of the space station. And there's a crack, a rupture in his suit. So basically, he should die. But then he gets the memories of his son and he comes back alive. So that was a horrible experience for me.
Yeah, so Guru Prasanna, you have any other question?
Sir, I don't have questions, sir. Shall I go next, sir?
Yeah, sure. You can. Yeah, the point is, Dakshin, that that horses versus artist was a real good catch. So very good analogy. And the second thing is about the presentation was, your section, the segmentation of the learning principle and the keywords of the movie. So I'm very happy that you have taken this stride of making a very professional presentation, even if it is in a movie form. Good, I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Right, so if there are no questions towards section Siddharth, we are going to the next presentation, and that is of Guru Prasanna. Yes, Guru, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can start now. Your 10 minutes starts now. 3, 2, 1, go.
So, greetings everyone. Today, I'm going to say two movies which were some of my favorite movies which I had seen in the past. So, the first movie is Such in a Billion Dreams. So, it was a movie which was released in 2016. I had just watched it once, but I had like remembered more things in that, because like it was starting it will be starting with a young boy like who loves to stay outdoors, and it would be full of Sachin's journey, his personal life, his professional life. Everything would be there in the story. Like the story was so good that we could see this for each and every month. But the speciality of the story was, I really loved the story. But after the story, the Sachin Sachin said that like it was important moment, releasing important moments in my life was a good thing for him. Sachin said that to the media. At that time, I was so happy that this movie was Sachin has said that to media, and this movie gets popular, and it was somewhat so happy feeling that I got. So in this movie, it would be full of his professional life and personal life. The professional life, in his professional life, everybody would be there, would play international cricket at the age of minimum at the age of 20 or so. But Sachin had started playing that at the age of 16, and he has started playing when he was 3 years old. So that was the thing which was so happy to know, like Sachin had started his career at his 3 years old, and he has taken take he has started practicing at his 3 years old. And his brother was the first well wisher to take him to a great coach. Sir, are you speaking, sir?
No, I had to appreciate Ritan because he took the Inception clip from the YouTube channel. So that is why I had to sneak into your presentation to appreciate it. But I'm listening to you. You can please carry on.
Yes, sir. So that was the movie which I liked first, and because after seeing the movie, because of the Sachin's interview, it was more curious to know why I watched this movie. So this was the first movie which I liked, and the next movie was The Legend of Bhagat Singh, which I saw only recently. It was a Hindi movie. After sorry we in MS evening sessions we saw Rang De Basanti in for 2 classes as an activity. And after that, sir, I searched for Rang De Basanti, sir. At that time I saw this Legend of Bhagat Singh, sir. Sir, it was really interesting, sir, but I wasn't able to understand the Hindi language, sir. I just wanted to see all the pictures and know about it, sir.
But when we spoke about Rang De Basanti, I gave the YouTube link of the movie, right? Didn't I? You could have very much watched that from the movie.
Yes, sir. Sir, no,
Yeah.
I thought of searching in Netflix, sir, but I wasn't able to find it, sir.
It's still available on Netflix. Rang De Basanti is still available next. But Legend of Bhagat Singh, Ajay Devgan would have done a real good job. So that's a nice movie. That's a very good choice. Come on, speak about it. Come on.
So it was also like a biography of, like a journal of Bhagat Singh. Like he was like at starting he would the story will be witnessing with Bhagat Singh's childhood life, and he would be there in sir, what was the name, sir? Sir, it starts with J, no, sir. Like he will be witnessing there, no, sir.
Jallianwala Bagh.
Yes, sir. He would be witnessing there Bhagat Singh. At that time, the story starts. Sir, my favorite scene in this movie was the last scene, sir. When Bhagat Singh was went on to be killed, he was just laughing at his 23 years old, sir. But at his 13 years old, sir, he stopped his studying and he was working for his work. He was working for Indian patriotism, sir. That was the nice thing about Bhagat Singh, and I learned, sir, from this two stories, sir. I learned how was Sachin's life and how was Bhagat Singh's life, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good job. So the Sachin Billion Dream is a documentary, and I would like to speak about the feel-good factor. Like Ritanitish mentioned a particular sequence in his movie. Siddharth mentioned about an employee being so much jovial along with the boss was the feel-good factor for me. And Dakshin Siddharth mentioned about the feel-good factor, about the climax where Christopher Nolan leaves everybody to perceive and guess what it is all about. So likewise, what is your feel-good factor in Bhagat Singh, the legend of Bhagat Singh in Sachin Billion Dreams?
Sir, in Legend of Bhagat Singh, sir, like as I already said, sir, my feeling good factor, as like we saw in Rang De Basanti, sir, the first scene that there was the last scene, sir. It was my favorite scene in that movie also, sir, because as I have already watched on not, sir, I don't know really, sir, but I loved the scene at the last, when Bhagat
Right,
Singh was
right.
right. Sir, in Sachin's movie, sir, I have, as I have mentioned, sir, like Sachin, sir, it was his full of his life, sir. It was his personal life and professional life. Everything was fully there, sir. Sir, but my thing in that, my favorite thing in the story, sir, when was his brother Ajit was taking him to the coach, sir, because he was it was the he Sachin's well-wisher was his brother Ajit, sir. He took
Elder
him
brother,
to a
correct.
famous coach, and because of that, he has become a great player. That was the favorite thing for me.
Fantastic, fantastic. Good job. Very nice presentation, Guru Prasanna. Two great choice of movie. Anything with the name of Sachin will always turn me really excited and happy. And The Legend of Bhagat Singh is a very nice choice. It was outshadowed by Rang De Basanti. But then after Rang De Basanti, the film did not obtain its own popularity, although it had both good stars like Ajay Devgan and Bobby Deol. But still, it was not good enough to capture the attention of the audience. But you have watched it, and I really appreciate that. And nice choice of the movie. Your flyover fantasy content was really, it was a very good exhibit of your flyover fantasy. Good job, good present. Nice, very
The
nice.
movie, sir, I just watched it only with pictures, sir, because I don't know English, Hindi, sir, and it don't have a subtitle also, sir. I just
Subtitles,
watched the each and every scene, sir. After that, like I was just doing some like searching about that movie, and I was think tanking this with this and this with this, sir. This with this scene.
Okay, right, that's good. Okay, thank you, Guru Prasanna. That was wonderful. Now,
Guru.
we are coming to the, yeah, Darshan.
Thank you, sir.
No, sir,
Well done, Guru.
appreciate.
It was really a nice presentation.
Yeah, got it, Darshan.
Good job, Guru.
Sanjit. Sanjit, you here? You hear us? Sanjit Jai. Okay. Last but by no means the least, Taneshwar Arilan is the next person who is going to speak about his flyover fantasy. Taneshwar, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Come on.
Hello, sir and friends. Today I'm gonna be talking about my favorite movie. My favorite movie is Spider-Man 2. I like this movie because I like Spider-Man. If you saw my profile picture, you would know that. And yeah, I feel like this movie has like a lot of genres and like it was really well made because there's like the perfect amount of action and there's perfect amount of comedy and like sad parts and it's all like put together in one big movie and like it's it's good. And then like one thing about this movie is like it's very relatable for people in real life because uh, yeah, if you don't know Peter Parker, he has a lot of stress because he's a student and he's trying to manage being Spider-Man and he's trying to get a job and he has to do all his homework. So that's why it's like very relatable to other people. And the story in this movie was also really good. So like in the beginning, it shows that um Peter Parker he's a pizza delivery man and he delivers the pizza late. So it's just and there's also another part where he used to be such a good student before he was Spider-Man. But then like his favorite class, which is science, like he didn't submit like any homework and he had like a really bad grade in the class and his teacher talked to him alone and told him about it and he said he would try to help out, but he said he would try to like get it all done, but he doesn't. So like one thing about this movie is that like it's very relatable and it's like very really realistic apart from the part that he's Spider-Man. And then so what happens is that he decides to not be Spider-Man because of all the stress. So he stops being Spider-Man and then uh he has to work on all his homework and because of that apparently the crime rate in New York went up by some amount of percent, which I don't remember how much, but he doesn't care because he doesn't want to be Spider-Man. And then because of that, he got like really good grades and he can pay attention to people and stuff. And he can also do stuff for his aunt because his uncle died, so she's alone. So yeah, and then something that happens is that uh there's a villain and this movie is also I don't know if you would call it sci-fi because it does have some sort of sci-fi element but like I don't know if it would be sci-fi. So there's this guy making prosthetics for people and then he was doing this experiment where it was like a thing where like a lot of people could see and Peter was there and then and it goes wrong and the whole room starts like exploding and stuff he and then his wife dies and then because of that he becomes a bad person and then he was like his prosthetics didn't work so he decided to like he needed money to make them work because he really wanted to get his idea so he robs a bank and he does other stuff and uh he also like after that Peter he sees this and then he decides to be Spider-Man again and then what happens is that one time he tells Peter to tell Spider-Man to come because he doesn't want to tell anyone and he told everyone that he's Spider-Man's friend so he told him that he told Peter that he wanted Spider-Man to come one day and then he went there and then his aunt was there and he was like threatening to kill his aunt and the one good thing about the story or like I forgot the name, but like I mean like I forgot the topic, but like one like the good thing about the story is like even though like all the bad things he did, like in the end like the villain turns out to be like some sort of hero. So that's what I like about the movie.
Right. So turning to be a hero in the sense, I mean, he has got some valid reasons for his wrong deeds of actions. That's what you mean, or he changes or he transforms into a good guy. How does it happen?
So what happens is that what happens is he does his experiment again, and the it goes wrong again because I don't know what happened, but like so Peter was there when he did his experiment the first time, so he knows exactly what went wrong. But the villain, he was like stubborn and he wanted to do it again, and then Peter sees it was wrong, and then he was just like he does it. He just sacrificed himself he just
Okay.
sacrificed himself to save other people from the experiment.
And did you like the joke of the Spider-Man that was brought in Endgame and the other stuff where Robert Downey and the Spider-Man with that story plot by Marvel, they brought a new guy as Spider-Man. Did you like him?
He's okay. I like the original one
Sir, I
better.
love Tom Holland, sir.
With
He's
Tom,
my
I don't like Tom Holland. I don't because I feel like it takes away like the connection to real life.
You're right. You're right. It was like a spoof, Dakshin Siddharth. He was like a spoof. Seriously.
Sir,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know the guy's name. Tanishwar has got in this profile picture. What's his name, Dakshin?
Toby
Toby
Maguire.
Okay. Anyway, so that guy was suitable. You see, Spider-Man's character Peter Parker needs an innocence on his eyes, in his eyes. Look at him. He's got that innocence. He's got that wonder and all that. Okay, so the deep blue sea eye has to be there for Spider-Man's character. The Avatar needs that. But with that guy who was acting in Endgame and Civil War and all that, it was a joke. He was a spoof. Seriously.
sir.
He's had more than another woman.
Sir,
Right.
but finally he was the Spider-Man, sir. But
Like his Spider-Man movies are good, but like it's not like the same as the original ones. I feel like it's like completely different.
Yeah, exactly. Both are good, but I think Toby is a bit more iconic.
Yeah,
Because
and then in the Tom Holland version, like so when you can't connect to the real world, and then like there's like they say news stories. It's not like how he became to be Spider-Man, and he's only like a high school student, and like yeah, it doesn't show much stuff, and yeah.
yeah, Spider-Man came out way before the Avengers, and at that time it was because of Toby that it became so popular and stuff.
Yeah, it was like it got like many awards, and it was like the biggest film of the time.
Yeah. But right now, if you talk